December 18, 2022. Lusail Stadium is vibrating. Kylian Mbappe has just forced a penalty shootout, and the weight of an entire nation rests on the shoulders of an aging legend. We all know how that story ended. Lionel Messi hoisted the golden trophy into the desert sky, cementing his legacy as the greatest to ever play the game. But as the blue and white confetti settled onto the grass, a silent, inevitable clock began ticking. The golden generation had reached its absolute peak, and with every peak comes a descent. The question hanging over Buenos Aires was not how long they could celebrate, but how they would survive the morning after. In less than 2 years, the circus moves to North America for the 2026 World Cup, and Lionel Scaloni faces a tactical puzzle that would terrify any ordinary manager. How do you replace the irreplaceable? How do you transition a squad built entirely around the gravitational pull of one man into a decentralized, high-pressing, hypermodern machine? The blueprint for this revolution is already being drawn, and it does not look like anything we have seen before. Consider the night of September 7, 2023. Argentina is deadlocked against Ecuador. The minutes are bleeding away, the crowd is growing restless, and the old magic is needed. Messi steps up, curls a free kick into the top corner, and saves the day once again. It was a beautiful moment, but it was also a warning. Relying on late career genius is a dangerous strategy when preparing for the physical gauntlet of a 48-team tournament across 3 massive nations. Scaloni knows this. Behind closed doors at the Ezeiza training complex, the coaching staff is already dismantling the world champion identity to build something far more dynamic, aggressive, and unpredictable. To understand where Argentina is going, we must first understand how they got here. In 2018, when Scaloni was appointed as an interim manager, the legendary Diego Maradona famously stated that Scaloni was a fine lad but could not even direct traffic, let alone the national team. Yet, through tactical pragmatism and an uncanny ability to manage massive egos, Scaloni built a fortress. The 2022 midfield trio of Rodrigo de Paul, Enzo Fernandez, and Alexis Mac Allister functioned as a tireless security detail, sacrificing their own creative instincts to protect Messi and secure possession. But the 2026 midfield is designed to be a weapon of mass destruction. Enzo Fernandez, operating under the heavy weight of his British record transfer to Chelsea, has had to evolve. No longer just a deep-lying playmaker, Enzo is being molded into an aggressive, vertical ball carrier who can break lines with a single pass. Think back to his stunning goal against Mexico in the group stage of 2022, that explosive step over and curling finish. That was not a flash in the pan, it was a preview of his future role. Alongside him, Alexis Mac Allister has undergone a tactical masterclass under Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot at Liverpool, transforming into a tactically elite hybrid midfielder who can play as a 6, an 8, or a 10 with equal efficiency. This flexibility is the secret sauce of Scaloni's new system. But who joins them to complete this new-look trident? While Rodrigo de Paul remains the emotional heartbeat of the squad, his physical decline by 2026 is a calculated risk. Enter Valentin Carboni, the 19-year-old playmaker whose elegant left foot has already drawn comparisons to a young Angel Di Maria. When Carboni made his full international debut against Costa Rica, the world saw a teenager who did not just belong on the pitch, he demanded the ball. He possesses that rare, elusive quality the Argentines call la pausa, the ability to freeze time in the final third, waiting for the perfect run before slide-locking a defense-splitting pass. If you think this transition will be smooth, you are underestimating the sheer brutality of South American qualifiers. Every match is a tactical war. Look at Argentina's shock defeat to Uruguay at the La Bombonera in late 2023. Marcelo Bielsa's men did not just beat Argentina, they suffocated them. They targeted the aging fullbacks, exposed the lack of recovery pace in the transition phases, and proved that a possession-heavy style without explosive off-the-ball runners is a recipe for disaster. That painful night was a catalyst. It convinced Scaloni that his 2026 starting 11 must feature relentless, vertical athletes who can stretch opponents to the breaking point. This is where Alejandro Garnacho comes into the spotlight. The Manchester United winger is a tactical anomaly in Argentine football. For decades, the nation has produced masterful playmakers who want the ball at their feet, players who slow the game down to dissect opponents. Garnacho is the exact opposite. He is a direct, chaotic force of nature who wants to run behind the defensive line at 35 km/h. His breathtaking overhead kick against Everton showed his raw, unyielding audacity, but his true value to Scaloni lies in his ability to create space for others. By pinning opposing right-backs deep into their own territory, Garnacho creates massive gaps in the half spaces for players like Mac Allister and Enzo to exploit. But a team cannot survive on raw speed alone. The real mastermind of the next generation might be a player currently developing under the watchful eye of Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Claudio Echeverri, affectionately known as El Diablito, is the crown jewel of Argentina's youth system. During the Under-17 World Cup in Indonesia, Echeverri did something that made the entire footballing world stop and stare. He scored a magnificent hat-trick against arch-rivals Brazil, destroying their defense with a mixture of low-gravity dribbling, rapid acceleration, and clinical finishing that felt hauntingly familiar. Echeverri is not just a talent, he is a system unto himself. Scaloni's challenge is to integrate this raw genius into a senior squad that demands defensive discipline and tactical maturity. But there is a secret pact, whispers of which are growing louder within the halls of the Argentine Football Association. It is a plan whispered only in the shadows of the training ground. What if Lionel Messi's true role in 2026 is not to lead the attack from the first whistle, but to become the most lethal psychological weapon in World Cup history? Imagine the scenario. The clock shows 72 minutes in a crucial knockout match in 2026. The opponent is a physical, low-block European side that has frustrated Argentina's starting lineup. The game is stagnant, the tension is suffocating, and the crowd is silent. Scaloni turns to his bench and introduces Echeverri and Valentin Barco. Instantly, the dynamics shift. Barco, the rebel fullback who rose to fame at Boca Juniors before moving to Europe, brings a level of arrogance and tactical unpredictability that is almost impossible to defend against. Barco is not your traditional left-back. He is an inverted playmaker who comfortably drifts into the central midfield zones, creating numerical overloads and leaving wingers completely bewildered. His ability to hit pinpoint crossfield diagonals while under intense pressure is a weapon that will unlock the tightest defenses in 2026. Let us address the elephant in the room. What about the king himself? Will Lionel Messi walk out onto the pitch in 2026, or will he watch from a luxury suite? The reality is far more complex than a simple yes or no. The tactical blueprint for 2026 must be designed under the assumption that Messi will not be a 90-minute player. At 39 years old, the physical demands of a North American summer, played on massive pitches across different time zones, will make it impossible for him to carry the team on his back as he did in Qatar. Instead, Scaloni is preparing a dual-system strategy. System A is a high-octane, aggressive, press-and-possess 4-3-3 formation designed to grind opponents down through collective energy and rapid vertical transitions. System B is the Messi contingency. It is a highly specialized, compact shape that can be deployed in the final 30 minutes of a match, where Messi is introduced as a pure tactical assassin, operating in a free-roaming central role with zero defensive responsibilities, insulated by a hyper-athletic midfield engine room designed to do his running for him. This dual-system approach is a stroke of tactical genius. It preserves Messi's physical integrity while ensuring the team does not suffer from a tactical identity crisis when he is not on the field. To understand how this works in practice, we only have to look at how Scaloni handled the absence of Angel Di Maria during key phases of the 2022 tournament. Instead of trying to find a direct replacement for Di Maria's unique wing play, Scaloni completely altered the team's shape, introducing an extra midfielder in Alexis Mac Allister to control the tempo. This tactical elasticity is what separates Scaloni from his predecessors, and it will be the defining factor in 2026. The evolution is not limited to the forward lines. In the Italian capital, Mattias Sol has been quietly demonstrating why Juventus regretted letting him go. His spellbinding performances at Frosinone and Roma have shown that Argentina has another world-class creative option on the right wing. Sol does not possess Garnacho's raw speed, but his spatial awareness and ability to cut inside on his left foot provides Scaloni with a tactical mirror image of Lionel Messi. Combine this with the sudden rise of Nico Paz, who left Real Madrid to find regular first-team football under Cesc Fabregas at Como. Paz has already shown a level of maturity that belies his young age, scoring crucial Champions League goals and exhibiting a passing range that makes him a perfect long-term heir to the Argentine midfield legacy. Now, let us shift our gaze to the defensive unit, the unsung heroes who provided the foundation for the triumph in Qatar. Cristian Romero, the defensive titan known as Cuti, will be at the absolute peak of his powers in 2026. His partner in crime, Lisandro Martinez, will bring his trademark combativeness and elite ball distribution from the left center-back position. Together, they form arguably the most aggressive and technically gifted defensive pairing in international football. But modern tournaments are not won by 11 players. They are won by squads. Who replaces the aging Nicolas Otamendi? The answer lies in the rapid development of players like Facundo Medina and Marco Pellegrino. Medina, who has quietly established himself as one of the most reliable defenders in French football with Lens, offers a rare combination of physical dominance and exceptional line-breaking passing ability. His presence allows Scaloni to easily transition into a back-three system mid-match, providing the tactical flexibility needed to counter dynamic attacking setups. In goal, Emiliano Martinez remains the undisputed custodian, a psychological giant whose penalty shootout heroics have entered football folklore. But even Dibu knows that the defenders in front of him must evolve to meet the challenges of 2026. The North American tournament will feature some of the fastest, most athletic transitions in football history, played on pitches that are often narrower than traditional European stadiums, accelerating the speed of play and demanding split-second decision-making. This physical demand is precisely why the fullback positions are undergoing a quiet revolution. Nahuel Molina and Gonzalo Montiel have served their country with distinction, but the emergence of younger, more athletic options is forcing them to raise their game. Look at Facundo Buonanot, whose performances in the Premier League have shown that he can operate both as a dynamic central midfielder and as a wide playmaker. Buonanot's versatility allows Argentina to shift from a structured 4-3-3 to a fluid 4-4-2 diamond, a formation that Scaloni used to great effect during the Copa America. As we piece together this puzzle, the predicted starting 11 for Argentina in 2026 begins to take shape, presenting a terrifying blend of battle-tested experience and explosive youth. In goal, Dibu Martinez. A back four of Nahuel Molina on the right, Cuti Romero and Lisandro Martinez in the heart of defense, and the ultra-dynamic Valentin Barco on the left. The midfield unit consists of Enzo Fernandez operating as the deep-lying director, flanked by the relentless Alexis Mac Allister and the creative dynamo Valentin Carboni. Up front, the explosive Alejandro Garnacho occupies the left wing, while the brilliant Julian Alvarez leads the line with his tireless pressing and clinical movement. And on the right? That spot is reserved for a rotating system. On some days, it will be the tactical discipline of Nicolas Gonzalez. On others, the raw, unadulterated genius of Claudio Echeverri. And in the moments that define a generation, it will be Lionel Messi, stepping onto the pitch to deliver one final, breathtaking act of magic. This is not just a transition, it is a tactical masterpiece in the making. Scaloni is not trying to replicate the past, he is actively inventing the future. He is building a team that is no longer dependent on a single savior, but rather a collective juggernaut where every player is a threat, every movement is coordinated, and every tactical phase is executed with absolute precision. The pressure will be immense. The weight of defending the world title is a burden that has crushed many great teams before them. Remember France in 2002, Spain in 2014, or Germany in 2018. All of them arrived as champions and departed in the group stage, victims of tactical stagnation and mental exhaustion. Argentina's greatest enemy in 2026 will not be Brazil, France, or England. It will be their own complacency, the dangerous belief that the triumphs of the past guarantee the successes of the future. But this is where the character of Scaloni's squad shines through. These young players have grown up watching their idols conquer the world, and they do not want to be the footnote to Messi's story, they want to write their own historic chapter. They have tasted glory at the youth levels, they have fought their way through the brutal environments of South American football, and they possess that unique, burning desire to prove that Argentine football does not begin and end with one legendary number 10. As we look ahead to the summer of 2026, one question towers above all others, a question that splits the footballing community down the middle and sparks fierce debate in every stadium, cafe, and living room across the globe. Is this incoming generation of Argentine players, with their explosive speed, modern tactical flexibility, and elite European pedigree, actually capable of building a more balanced, resilient, and dominant team than the one that lifted the trophy in Qatar? Or will they ultimately crumble under the impossible, suffocating shadow of Lionel Messi's legacy?